The courtroom was silent, so silent that even the ticking of the old clock above the judge's bench sounded like a drumbeat. Reporters leaned forward, cameras were rolling, and America held its breath. At the center of it all stood Senator John Kennedy, his face stern, his hands folded neatly on the table before him. He wasn't here to make a speech or deliver one of his famous witty lines. He was here for war. He had just filed a $200 million lawsuit against Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, a rising star who had never been afraid to clash with him publicly. Nobody had expected it to come to this, but Kennedy had drawn the line. For months, their back-and-forth sparring on Capitol Hill had gone viral, her sharp comebacks, his southern drawl-laced retorts. But Kennedy claimed Jasmine had crossed into defamation territory, attacking his integrity and accusing him of corruption. To him, it wasn't just banter anymore. It was personal. And so he brought the fight out of the chamber and into the courtroom. But Jasmine Crockett wasn't a woman easily intimidated. If Kennedy thought she'd crumble under the weight of a $200 million lawsuit, he had miscalculated badly. As she walked into the courtroom in a sleek, navy suit, her head high, there was no fear in her step. There was fire. She wasn't just defending herself, she was defending her truth, her reputation, and in many ways, the people who had put her in office. When her time came to respond, Jasmine stood up slowly, turned not just to the judge, but directly to the cameras broadcasting live, and spoke with a calm but razor-sharp clarity. "Senator Kennedy," she began, "you don't sue someone because they tell the truth. You sue them because you're afraid of it. And I'm not here to be silenced, not by power, not by money, and certainly not by intimidation." The room shifted. Even Kennedy's legal team glanced at one another, sensing the tide turning. She laid out her case with precision, walking the court and the public through documents, timelines, and evidence that painted a very different story than Kennedy had hoped to present. Her words weren't just a defense, they were an offense. And every word landed like a thunderclap. At one point, she stopped and looked directly at Kennedy. "You can try to put a dollar amount on my reputation, Senator. You can wave $200 million around like it's a hammer. But what you can't buy is my voice. What you can't buy is the truth. And I will not let you or anyone rewrite it." The crowd erupted. Reporters rushed to type every word, commentators whispered that they had never seen anything like it. Kennedy, normally quick with a quip, sat silently, his face hard to read. Some said he looked stunned. Others said he looked defeated. For the first time in years, John Kennedy had no comeback. The judge adjourned for the day, but the moment had already gone down in political history. Outside, as Jasmine walked through the swarm of microphones and cameras, she didn't yell.